So it's nice to be back once again on a Sunday morning. What I have today is a bit cryptic, so let me begin by giving you a few cryptic statements. For instance, to gain, we must give, not bargain. To have, we must be. To have peace, we must teach peace to be peace. Another one is God does not teach. What we project, we believe. I am with you always. And the last one is to heal is the only kind of thinking in this world that resembles God. Now that last one might be a big one for some and perhaps a far stretch. Nonetheless, it is true and has to do with the mind. And these are just a few statements that could lead to further exploration when we run across them. But let's go back to the first one. To gain, we must give, not bargain. To bargain is to limit giving, although most of us would engage in bargaining to get something that we believe we wouldn't ordinarily get if we didn't bargain. Divine will, however, has no bargaining in its construct. The very concept is limiting, which is why politicians are pretty much worthless. Their entire lives are one bargain after another. To will with God, on the other hand, is to create like Him. God, however, does not limit His gifts by bargaining. We are His gifts, and so our gifts must be like His in order to experience the same fullness, the same wholeness that the divine is. Our gifts to Him must be like His gifts to us. And what would be the gift that God would entertain? This is an easy one. Love. It's the only gift God gives. And He gives of it fully, wholly. And by giving, it becomes more abundant. Jesus gave only love because He believed that was what He was. In the same way, what we believe we are determines our gifts. If we align with Spirit as teacher, then our gifts are benign. If we align with ego, our gifts are worthless. To think like God is to share His certainty. To think unlike Him is to be uncertain. Now, God does not take steps or baby steps with us because His accomplishments are not gradual. We as humans living an egoistic life take steps, baby steps, to move from where we are to where the divine is. Also, God does not teach because His creations are changeless. We are His creations. In other words, God made His creations, us, you and me, perfect. We've heard that before. Thus, we need not learn, as we are learned. We just don't know it. That's why we've been taught that we are perfect. We only need to peel the layers of the onion skin away and keep peeling so that we may get to the core of what we are. So that which we learn here is not revealed to us because it was never hidden from us by the divine. The light that is was never obscured because it is His will to share it. How can what is fully shared be withheld and then revealed? That would be impossible if we but give it a moment's thought. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that to think like God is to share His certainty. Let me talk about this a little bit. Outside the kingdom, that is outside of heaven, and that's where we are, the law that prevails, now that's what I should say, refine that and say, that's where we think we are. That's where our beliefs have led us to think we are, outside of heaven. So outside of heaven, the law that prevails is adapted to what we project, we believe. In other words, projection makes perception. As I project, I perceive. This is correct. And outside of heaven, learning is essential. This implies that we learn what we are from that which we have projected onto others, and therefore believe they are. In heaven, however, there is no projection. There is no teaching or learning, because there are no beliefs. Actually, there is no belief, singular. There is only certainty. When we are whole, we are certain, and we extend. We do not project. We extend that which we are, which is love. Let me explain this. When we are aligned with Spirit, we extend. We extend because we are aligned with Spirit, which is aligned with God. And God created us through extension. Extension of what? Extension of what God is, love. So as we extend, we give. And we give that which we are, which is love. Now, when we align with ego, however, we project. We project that which we don't want and don't like about ourselves, thinking that by giving it away, we can get rid of it and put it onto someone else. The ego does not believe in sharing. It believes in either hoarding if it is beneficial to me, or giving it away if it's harmful to me. That's called projection, which is the opposite of extension. The ego believes in taking. It has a you or me attitude rather than a you and me disposition. Now, through all the teachings of Spirit, it is teaching basically one thing over and over in many different ways, many different forms. That is, all power is ours. All decisions are ours. All responsibility is ours. When our brother, Yeshua, said, "I am with you always," he meant it literally. He is not absent to anyone in any situation. Because he is always with us, we are the way, the truth, and the life. We did not make up this law any more than Yeshua did. We get to use it, however, just as he did. He used the power within himself to its fullest and then extended that power through love, because that power was love and it was maximal. Yet most of us have forgotten that all of that power is ours. We need to remember that. We need to tap into our memories and relearn what is already there. It takes a lot of work. As you can guess, love is our power, which the ego denies. Our mind is powerful enough that it can make up illusions. And if it does so, it will believe in them because it made them. That is how it made them, through beliefs. Excuse me. We are powerful, we just don't get it. On the other hand, Spirit undoes illusions, if you wish to work with Spirit, or conflicts. And it sees them exactly as they are, meaningless. So we need not understand conflict. We need only understand that because conflict is meaningless, it is not understandable. Understanding brings appreciation, and appreciation brings about love. Nothing else can be understood, ever, but love, because nothing else is real, and therefore nothing else has meaning. What we are is not established by our perception, and is not influenced by it at all. Perceived problems at any level are not problems of fact. They are not real. They are problems of understanding, since their presence implies a belief that what we are is up to us to decide. Let me explain. That's true and it's not true. What we are was, is, and always will be defined by our Creator. What we perceive we are is a different matter. It's either of the right mind or the wrong mind. If in the right mind, we are in harmony and alignment with Spirit or Creator. But if in the wrong mind, we are in cahoots with the ego. So no matter what we perceive matters not. We are what we were created as by the Creator. We perceive ourselves this way or that way, and we're either in alignment with that or we're not. So we can be perceived with meaning only by spirit because our being or beingness is the knowledge of God. Any belief we accept apart from this will obscure God's voice in us. In other words, we don't hear it. And then will therefore obscure God to us. And therefore God's not in our life. And that is our choice. Unless we perceive His creation truly, we cannot know the Creator, since God and His creation are not separate. The oneness of the Creator and the creation is our wholeness, our sanity, and our limitless power. This limitless power is God's gift to us because it is what we are. If we choose to dissociate our mind from it, we are perceiving the most powerful force in the universe as if it were weak, because we do not perceive we are part of it. Perceived in this way, God's creation, us, is seen as weak. And when we see ourselves as weak, we attack. The attack is blind, however, because there is nothing to attack. We made it all up. We make up images, perceive them as unworthy, and attack them for their unworthiness. It's really quite the game. We should sell it. This is all that the ego is. It is nothing. It has no meaning. It does not exist. We need not try to understand it, because if we do try, we are believing that it can be understood and is therefore capable of being appreciated. And if it's appreciated, we will love it. That would justify its existence, which cannot be justified. We cannot make the meaningless meaningful. This would be insanity. Now, allowing insanity to enter our minds means that we have not judged sanity as desirable. If we want something else, we will make something else. But because it is something else, it will attack our thought system and divide our allegiance to that which created us, which we call the Creator. We also call God. We cannot create in this divided state, and we must be vigilant against the divided state, because only peace and joy and love can be extended. Extension is of spirit and only of spirit. A divided state is not a state aligned with spirit. Therefore, there can be no peace when divided. A divided mind blocks extension. And the extension is our joy. If we do not extend, we are not thinking with our Creator and creating as He created. In this state, Spirit reminds us gently that we are not fulfilling our function as co-creator with God, and are therefore depriving ourselves of joy. This is not God's choice, but ours. So any kind of blame you want to cast to that guy in the sky or to someone else, bring a mirror with you and look at the mirror and then start shooting out. If our mind could be out of accord with God's, we would be willing, but without meaning. Yet because God's will is unchangeable, no conflict of will is possible in reality with a capital R. Problem is, we basically don't live in reality, we live in the illusion. Basically, the message is, wake up. Creation is our will because it is God's. And nothing that opposes any of that means anything at all. Therefore, we can only accomplish perfectly extending peace, joy, and love. I hope this meant something to some of you, and enjoy the rest of your day.